Hi guys, that's me, Robbie from AccentAdventure.com, and today I'm going to announce the next accent learning mission. As you may know, if you've been following my blog and watching my videos on YouTube, I've been learning the general American pronunciation for the last 3 months or so, and I completed the mission, and I think I got quite good results. And currently, right now, when I speak, I'm not actually trying to put on a certain accent or pronunciation. I just speak the way I normally speak in everyday situations, at work, on the street, because I believe that you don't have to bend over backwards, which means do everything you can to make sure that your accent is perfect. You know what I mean? The way you speak is fine as far as you're understood, and that's my stance in relation to the accent and pronunciation related issues, right? But anyway, without further ado, I'm announcing the next accent learning mission, which is received pronunciation. What's that? What's received pronunciation? Okay guys, it's British accent, British pronunciation, Queen's English, Oxford English, whatever term you might be using. It's basically English spoken in England, but probably you know that there's dozens of quite distinct accents and probably hundreds of very regional accents spoken all over the country, meaning England or Great Britain, or all these terms. I can't really wrap my head around them, right? Anyway, the general pronunciation is the one that was until recently the official pronunciation of BBC, for example, which is the official TV channel of England. Official channel, can you say that? Anyway, don't mind me. All these small mistakes, don't mind me. You know where I stand in relation to mistakes, If you make a mistake, it's fine. Just ignore it, keep speaking, and the mistake will take care of itself, right? So, you know what I mean? Anyway, when I say official channel of England, it's probably not the best term, it's not the industry term, but I just speak the way I speak. I speak fluently, and I believe that my English is fluent, because fluency, the way I define it, is characterized by your ability to convey the message fluently, understandably, in an easy to understand format, without trying to use super sophisticated words, ones that even natives wouldn't have a clue what they mean. If you dig quite deep into a dictionary, you may as well pull out 20, 30, 40 words that natives wouldn't have heard in their whole lives, you know what I mean? So my next mission is going to be the general British pronunciation, right? The received pronunciation. And here's how I'm going to learn. First of all, I'm going to watch loads of TV. 1 hour a day, probably in the evening. I'm going to be watching Discovery Channel, National Geographic, and similar channels, which I love, because there's loads of programs about science, about nature, about human psychology and all that sort of thing. And I'm really into that, so most of the programs are produced in the States. So the American accent is the standard pronunciation of those people normally involved in those programs, right? But the narration is in British English, because all those programs are broadcast from England, Great Britain, whatever you call it. Anyway, England, this is the term I'm going to stick with, right? England, for simplicity's sake, okay? And I'm going to be watching TV in the evening. I'm going to be listening to how British pronunciation is happening, how words are pronounced in British English. And I'm going to be repeating, because, as you may know, listening doesn't translate directly into your ability to speak. You know what I mean? You may be listening the whole time, but unless you speak, you won't be able to mimic those speech patterns. You won't be able to mimic that particular pronunciation and accent, right? So what I'll be doing is I'll be listening to those TV shows and programs, and constantly speaking, you know. You can pause live TV these days, it's no problem. So I'll be doing that and repeating sentences and words. I'll be also watching videos online, on YouTube, obviously, because that's the biggest video website these days. And I'll be doing the same thing, you know, listening to interviews, things like that, and repeating after. Third thing I'll be doing is I'll be reading out loud, you know, whatever it is, I'll be just reading paragraphs of text every day, as often as I can, as often as my tight schedule allows me to get that accent going and make it my second nature, you know. And the biggest hurdle that I'll have to overcome is making that accent my second nature to the extent that I can actually apply it on my whole speech and speak fluently all the time, you know. And it might come, well, not that it might, but it will come at some stage, given that I practice long enough and frequently enough. And I'll be doing that on my travels to work and back, you know. It's an hour journey and I'm going to use that time. You may want to check out this video and these videos where I'm speaking in the car, you know. And it's a great way of practicing your spoken English, by the way, my friends, you know. If you have free time, like commuting and walking, if you have a pet, it's brilliant, you know. You have a dog, you go for that 20-minute walk in the woods somewhere away from the public, and you can speak with yourself. You can speak with yourself when getting up and taking a shower or whatever, you know what I mean, 20, 30 minutes. We all have that time, and we can dedicate that time to improve our English, you know. But in this case, I'm going to be using that time to practice my British accent, right? So those are the three things: watching TV and repeating after the narration, right? Watching online videos and reading. Well, actually, there's four things: spoken practice with myself, you know, it means self-practice. So listening, repeating, watching videos online, repeating, and reading out loud, and self-practice. And all these four things combined, I think, provide a very solid foundation for my accent learning mission, which I'm hoping to complete around Christmas or New Year. So it's a little bit less than 3 months, but it's about the same time it took me to master the American English, or the so-called American General Pronunciation, you know. But if you know me, you'll know my stance regarding all these terms, you know. I'm not the formal guy, I'm a simple guy, you know. So whether I say general American pronunciation or American pronunciation, it doesn't really matter, because we both know what I'm talking about here, right? Isn't that right? Okay, guys. Thanks for watching this video, which was just an introductory. You see, I'm making so many mistakes today. Please forgive me, everyone. Forgive me, perfectionists, especially those perfectionists out there who spend their whole time monitoring others. Everyone is under their scrutiny, and don't dare you make a mistake. How can you? You spent so many years speaking English, and now you're making a mistake. It's unforgivable. You better be ashamed of yourself. You see, these people make people like me and you guys so afraid of speaking, so stressed out, and we lack confidence, and we're just afraid of communicating with others, because we think that if we don't speak perfectly, then we'd better not speak at all. And this is the type of mentality I had a few years ago, you know, and then I was having different types of English fluency issues. But now I'm free, I'm confident, I'm liberated, and I'm free of all those complexes. Is that a real term in English? Anyway, you don't have to be afraid of using terms you're not really sure of, because how else are you going to learn new things if you don't use things that you are half sure of? You know, you have to try out new things, you know, and native speakers or whoever else might be listening to you will correct you, right? That's how it happens. Anyway, this video is getting a bit too long and probably boring for you, so thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video episode, where I'm going to attempt to speak with you guys in my British accent. And to be fair, I've actually tried, I've been practicing a little bit for last week, and it's just that I'm not comfortable speaking with you in that particular accent. But I'll get there, I promise, and you can subscribe to my channel here, and you can visit my blog and subscribe to my blog updates to keep in touch with me, and hear from me when I release new video episodes, and you can follow my accents learning mission and see how I'm doing, okay? See you soon again, guys, and take care. Bye-bye.